every Thursday at 5 p.m. for Little Bite Ideas, where we discuss how little ideas are transformed into big dreams. Hi, everyone. It's Thursday once again. These Thursdays go by so quickly. I'm delighted to be here. I'm Doreed Whitlock. I am with Samuel Fields Consulting Group. I am the Chief Marketing Officer. It is a pleasure to have you with us here today. Let me get my co-host in here really quickly because we have a great show planned today with some really cool and interesting young people. Megan, how are you?
I am well. Hi, Doreed, and hi to all our listeners and our viewers. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Fantastic. Let's get right to it. I know we were having some challenges with connections, but we'll see who we have and the others can join in as we go along because we have so much to talk about. We have our
We do.
YOLO summit coming up in a couple of days. I lost the count, but it's
A
just
little
over a
over a
week. It's
week.
a week from
Mm-hmm.
Sunday.
Yep.
So it's about 10 days, I would estimate. So that's not a lot of time. We want to get everyone registered. We want to get everyone on board with what we're doing and to bring you up to speed. So, as you know, the YOLO Summit, it's a financial conference for the youth.
Mm-hmm.
15 to 35, it's about education, inspiration, learning, leadership development, so many areas. Our young people need so much guidance
We
today
do.
about finance. Having come out of COVID, everyone is struggling, and our young people, this is going to leave an indelible mark on them. It hit us all hard, but young people, they're going to have a lot of challenges forging their financial future. So, how's your week been going? Tell us what's going on.
Well, it's all about YOLO, 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 YOLO.
YOLO. And of
So,
course,
go ahead.
no, I was going to say, for those who haven't heard, YOLO, of course, typically means you only live once. We've really flipped the script and we're saying, okay, you only live once, so let your money count. So we're here to talk about youth, opportunities, lessons, and outcomes. And the theme
Absolutely.
of the YOLO conference is money. What does money stand for, Megan?
Maximize opportunities now that empower the youth.
All right.
So we
So
do need to do that. We need to
we all need to do that.
make sure the
Adults
youth
need it, never mind young people.
absolutely. Yes.
Yep, and they have, they're so talented, they're so creative, they're so
They are.
adventurous that they have so many opportunities. And so we just want to make sure that along with the opportunities, they get the right lessons so we can see the right outcomes.
Outcomes.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So let's see who we
Absolutely.
have with us today. Let me bring
Right.
up our first guest, and I believe we have Mr. Dario Barthley.
Yes.
Yes,
Hey,
I'm here.
Dario.
Hi, good evening, ladies. Thank you so much for having me, and thanks to the public for listening.
Yeah, and Dario
Absolutely.
is he is a national athlete. He's also quite a traveler. He's also in the business. He's a media officer for the Cricket West Indies board, and so quite a lot under his belt as a young man. So we're going to learn more about Mario, his travels, how he
Dario.
manages money, his business, his interests. We want, this is a lifestyle show where we talk about finance. But we want to know about you and money's not a static thing. Money's not something in the bank. You bring life to money. So we really want to talk about, how you manage your money. So welcome,
Problem?
Dario. Let's
Yes.
see if we have our young ladies
They're
joining
not back.
us.
Not
They're
yet.
not
They're
back.
still having a bit of technical difficulty, but they will be
Okay, well, we'll
on.
tell you who they are because when they join, we'll bring them in as well. We have twins, and I'm the mother of twins, so I'm always fascinated. My twins are a little younger, but the dynamics between twins is fascinating. My husband was a twin, and I have twins, so I'm surrounded. But we have the phenomenal twins, Michelle and Melissa Seaforth. They are just like Dario. They are athletes. They're really into they're into, what do you call people like that? They're into
Fitness is what I would say.
Fitness, and they
into the
are,
physique.
oh my God, what do you call those shows?
I'm not quite sure about the right word, but
Dario,
bodybuilding, but they have the bikini.
Bodybuilding, that's what I was searching for. They're
Right,
bodybuilding.
but
Yes.
but they have
And
the
different
particular
areas of bodybuilding.
segment. Yes.
Yeah, and they're also national athletes because they represent Antigua in various
they've
shows
been
across the
doing really
world. When I
well.
say across the world, I
And
mean
we're
across
very
the world.
proud of them.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's so
I'm so
fascinating. So
proud.
they're well traveled. They're also into sports, into fitness. So hopefully we'll get them on soon because we have a lot to talk about. And I want everyone to stick around because I have a couple of questions for these young people. We want to talk about some of the stereotypes that all of us associate with money. We're all guilty of it. We have this mindset about young people and money, and they only do this and they only do that, and this is their mindset. A lot of it is wrong, or even if it is true, there's a reason for it.
Yeah, I would say a
So
lot.
that's
A
going
lot
to be a
of
fun
it
segment
is
at the end of the
true.
show.
It's because we
And
look
then
at
the
we
other
look at the world.
David, Dario is speaking.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
so
No,
sorry.
I would say that I do agree that some of it is playing out wrong, but I would also agree that a lot of it is true, and it's just simply because we look at the world slightly differently than persons that are a little bit older than me. So maybe during the discussion, a little bit of that may come out of why we look at the world in that manner.
And I like how you say it, a little bit older. Thank you
bit
so much
old.
for that. Thank you.
Yes,
Not very old, just
I hope
a
his
little
parents
bit.
are listening and they hear this.
A little
I'm
bit
sorry.
more mature, really the politically correct thing to say, but
Yes,
older slip just a little bit more mature.
A little bit more mature, yes,
Yep.
absolutely.
Oh,
I think we may have our super twins on right now. So
oh, there they are. Oh my God, beautiful girls.
Beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
So we made it
Welcome,
easy.
welcome. We should do them.
Oh, great. So Michelle is the glasses, Melissa without.
All right, that's
Perfect.
easy. That's easy.
And I'm still gonna mess it up. Telling you
Melissa
now. I'm still
without.
gonna mess
Melissa
it up.
without. Let me just say that enough. Melissa without.
Michelle,
Michelle, welcome.
without.
Nice to meet you guys.
Thank you.
I was
Thanks for
telling your
having-
sister I have twins. My twins are turning 19.
Oh wow,
So
girl.
the dynamic, and my husband was
Girls.
a twin, so a lot of twins, and the whole dynamic is so special.
Yes, it is.
Are
Very
you guys
special.
identical?
Yeah.
They look so, yes.
Well, identical is a biological
I would
thing.
say
Those of
so.
us who are in the twin world know that. It's more than what you look like. It's a biological thing. Whether
Yeah.
it came from one egg or it was a split egg.
I
I have
hear you.
fraternal twins. My kids and my siblings and I look more alike than my twins. My twins look like they're cousins, or they don't look alike at all. Own identity, different complexion, everything.
Wow. No,
Yeah, but
we're
they're very close.
Oh good. That's good. It is still close anyway.
Yeah, they're still close. I'll tell you a joke.
They finish each other's sentences and all of that.
Yeah, they're very close. And I never told you this, Megan. They said if they call for one of the Whitlocks on the PA system, they both show up to they both go to the principal's office. Let's say the principal's office, or someone calls and says, calls their name and says whatever Whitlock. Of course, they're in different classes, because here you don't put them in the same class. They both go. And I'm like, why would you both go if they didn't call you? They said more than likely it's a mistake, because they always get us mixed up. So half the times, we just go anyway to help them figure it out. And it's always like a way to just catch up with my sister during the day. I was like, okay. All right. But listen, ladies, we are here to talk about money and lifestyle. Money on its own in your pocket means nothing. It's how you spend it, how you invest it, how you save it, and how you perhaps even give it away. That's another healthy habit about money. And Megan will talk about the 5 money musts. So we want to hear about your exciting life, some of the great things you're doing, your business pursuits. We also, as we were telling Dario, and we recognize that you guys know each other, so that's very cool. We're going to talk about some of the stereotypes that people associate with money, especially as it relates to young people. You know, those young people. I'm sure you've heard that all the time. And also, beyond young people, Dario, there are also stereotypes associated with women. So I can imagine you two as young women with business pursuits, with ideas, creativity, and things you want to do. And then, of course, you're bodybuilders. I can imagine the amount of stereotypes that you guys have to deal with.
That's a man's world.
Yep. And so to all of our listeners, we haven't forgotten you. We've just been having our own conversation, but I'm just so excited when I meet young achievers. I love kids who are
Antiguans,
full of promise and full of life and adventurous. So I'm just living, if I seem happy and high, I'm just living vicariously through you guys. I hope that my kids, grow up to have this, this zest for life and just travel and do different things and be your best, live your best life. Opportunities are abundant, but timing and opportunities, when they intersect, that's when something happens. I mean, you really need to make it happen.
And you sprinkle that with some confidence, because you need to have
there's
that
no
to
shortage
step
here.
out.
Absolutely.
I can tell you that for sure. For sure. I'm so proud.
Yeah.
What's that?
I said be self-motivated.
Absolutely.
They're going to school us today. I can feel it
already. Oh, I'm all excited.
So, Megan, I want everyone to know, and to our listeners, if we've been talking across you, the reason we brought these dynamic young people here today, they are all going to be presenters in the YOLO conference, or participants, because I don't have the agenda in front of me. So, Megan, you better
are going to be presenters.
What the details are. But we just wanted you, if you're a young person between 15 to 35, or if you're an adult and you have children, godchildren, cousins, nieces, nephews, you need to have them register. We are we have assembled a team of Antigua and Barbuda's brightest and best young people who are making it happen. And they are going to be leading this session and schooling all of us on what the future will look like. So, Melissa and Michelle, tell us about your pursuits. I saw the pictures, the bodybuilding pictures. I'm blown away. I mean, I was just like, who are these young ladies? Tell us how you got started into bodybuilding. Well, first of all, how do you describe yourself? Are you business people? Are you employed? I mean, let's talk business. If I had to pitch you guys, I was your agent, what would I say about you guys?
Well, we both are ironically in hospitality. We
I saw that. Yeah.
We got that from our mother. If anyone knows our mother, any of the listeners,
I do. Not from a distance. I'm in hospitality too. I know her. I know who she is. I know her. We've met, but I know who your mother is. Yeah.
I know your mom well.
If you have any idea of her personality, never mind a hotelier. This is all she's done. She started in accounts and went to front office, managed housekeeping. Then we
basically got a front seat to that.
We basically in summers would go and visit.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we fell in love with hospitality. We both went away to study along those lines. I did culinary arts and food service management. She did travel, tourism, and hospitality management.
Nice.
We then did our master's in the same thing.
Yeah.
And we were basically each other's group mates in school, in class.
Oh, wow.
That is so cool.
We are really about like doing things and getting it done right as soon as possible. Not really rushing through the process, but doing it very efficiently. So we kind of wanted to finish fast. So we would do
summer class.
Yeah, exactly.
After class, anything to get it done. What we did.
Yeah.
So from there, from schooling, I guess the first major company hired us. It was Fairmont Resorts. They came, they interviewed the two of us, and
so are you telling me you guys worked at the same place too?
No.
Well, the same company hired us, but they said we had
to. Okay.
Yeah, so I went to San Francisco and she went to New York to work for the same company.
Yeah. Oh, that is nice.
We moved back to Antigua after about 7 years living abroad. Two things happened while we were away. We develop a greater appreciation for Antigua, and obviously we learned how to budget. And then also around the time where our bodies started to change and we started to get, little love handles, and clothes just wasn't fitting us right. And we were very
come
petite.
on.
No,
Love
we were
handles?
we were very petite girls always, all our life. But then the clothes just wasn't fitting right. So it didn't make any sense. It just didn't add up to us. And then I think going away and eating food overseas.
We had a bad diet.
Yeah. So it started to show. So that, I think, first nudged us into the direction of, okay, maybe you need to exercise while you're eating all of this. So that's kind of where it started.
Yeah.
Melissa really started first with dieting. But going back to our careers, when we came back home, we stayed in hospitality. Melissa's currently working on Jumbi Bay Island for a private owner. And I'm currently working right now at the Mill Reef Club as director of club operations.
Nice. Wow. So your mom must be thrilled.
Yes, she is. Her and I actually work at the same club. We both work at Mill Reef.
Oh, wow. That is so awesome. So tell me about your journey into fitness and bodybuilding.
So about around the same time that we returned home back in 2016, it happened automatically the same time. So we started the gym, got a trainer through one of our closest friends, and she we would train with her and him, and he was a bodybuilder. So we basically said, I said, hey, I want to diet and do a show. I watched him do one. I said, yes, I really want to do this. We both were training. I just stepped on stage first in 2017. And then my sister, I'm more the daredevil one. She's the more cautious one. Yeah. So I was, I guess, the guinea pig. And then after she saw, I came second in my first show. And then she said, I want to do this.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
I saw what it took and that you did well. So she said, I want to try. And then she did her first show. She didn't do as well as she wanted to. She came fifth, I think.
So I came fifth in my first show, which technically isn't bad for a beginner. But then I decided that I was going to study the sport more, study the nutrition more, and give it my all the next time. And a year later, I ended up stepping on stage, not nationally, but regionally. I decided to really put my neck out there. I said, okay, let me go to a show overseas. So I went to Barbados, won my high class in that regional show.
Wow.
I moved on to the overall and won my pro card in the same show.
So she turned a professional before.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I brought her
into a good story, though.
Her coming on board definitely taught me, because she's a very stickler. In terms of finance, my sister is like maybe ahead of me.
She's following dad.
Oh yes,
she's after that.
Oh, that's true too.
I do pay back a lot, and he is a public accountant.
Oh, I know your dad well. He was my boss for a few years.
Oh, wow. So you know.
Way back when. I fully know.
And I worked for him one summer years ago when I was in college. We're talking back in the 90s.
Oh, wow.
We'll tell her stories for another conversation.
I'm telling you, this is so exciting. But listen, Daria, we got to get you in here.
Oh, yes.
Because to our listeners, if you think these two girls are dynamic, and they are, I'm blown away. You got to hear Dario's story. Dario, too, I mean, it's this, we're going to rename this today's episode, The Apple Doesn't Fall Far from the Tree. So, Dario, what's the deal? You tell us about your background, some of the things you're working on. And
so
as you mentioned, on money.
As you mentioned that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, I guess I'm forced to mention my father, who would have not only played sports for Antigua at the youth level for the West Indies, but he would have worked in sport as well. Former president of the Antigua Barbuda Cricket Association and worked at Cricket West Indies. But with that being said, I think that I've been able to step out from under his shadow. Although he was a driving factor in me getting involved in sports initially and staying around sport for so long, which I'm obviously very grateful for. I think that we have two slightly different personalities. So one of the misconceptions that people always have about me when they meet me is that maybe I'll be as I don't know what the correct word to use, but they expect me
Outgoing?
to be more like him. No, I'm very outgoing. I
Okay,
think
because
that
you
we
look that
share
way to
that.
me, so I was wondering where this was going.
No, we definitely share that aspect. But
Okay.
there's some things about his personality, and as it comes to business and even money, that we don't necessarily share. So if persons know him well, it's usually a little bit harder for them to get to know me because
Oh
they make
wow.
assumptions that are not true. Um,
Ah,
however,
stereotypes.
I am a
Stereotypes.
I,
Yep.
I am a team player by nature. My
Mm.
entire life, I've been a part of teams. I played cricket as a youngster until I was 10. And then I found out about football, never touched a cricket bat again, played football for the
Oh
rest of my life.
wow. Do I sense
Really?
some rebellion
Went to
here?
university. Initially,
You know,
not really
dad did
rebellion. My
football.
dad
If
never
dad did
forced
cricket,
me.
I have to do something else.
No, he never forced me either way. And honestly,
Okay.
cricket was just I have a shorter attention span than he does. And cricket requires a lot of focus and a lot of
Mhm,
hours in the
mhm.
field. And football was just fast paced, more exciting. Once I got into it, there was no turning back.
Wow.
So
Okay.
I went initially on a government scholarship to the Midwestern State University in 2011. But it was kind of a last minute thing. I didn't plan to go to university initially because I thought I was going to play professional football. That was a joke. I wasn't nearly that good. But I was playing for like Antigua under 23. You know, I had a false sense of being a
You
professional
gotta
football.
set your
This
hopes
is a
high.
very
Come
wise young man.
So
Younger people don't talk like that typically.
no, because I
Sounds
noticed
like he's
early.
transitioning.
No, I noticed early, and that's one of the biggest benefits in my life. Well, I'll go through the university story first, and then you'll hear. So after that year, I sent out my CV, sent out my videos, and so forth. Got a football scholarship to go to Ohio, Ashland University, and I was there a year. It was excellent. It was mostly international students. We had a good team. But
Mhm.
one of the biggest issues that they had with us was, and just to be honest, it was a drinking problem because we had a lot of people from Europe that they drink from 16 or 18. And in the US, the drinking age is 21. And, you
Yes.
know, they were accustomed to that type of lifestyle. It did cause some issues on campus, if I'm being honest. But what no one expected is that in the summer, when we were home after that first year, they actually cut the football team. They made an
Oh wow.
executive decision to cut the football team. So I was home in Antigua, no football team to play on. They offered to keep my scholarship, but I didn't want to go to school and not play football, which is why I had um I had transferred the first time. So I transferred again to a third university in 3 years, which is the Baldwin Wallace University in Ohio again on a football scholarship. And they luckily they didn't cut the program or get rid of me, and I was there for the next 2.5 years. I graduated in December 2015 with a bachelor's degree in sport management and a minor in business management.
Mm.
Sometime within there, I started working in cricket, but as you asked me, my money mantra, I'll just close with that. And I don't necessarily have a money mantra that I stick by. However, I think that the method that has served me best is I don't spend it unless I think I need to. And I expand the meaning of need to into some things that people may consider wants. So I think that entertainment is the most important thing, and the things that I have fun with, I will always pay to enjoy them. So I spend my money on experiences that I will look back on and say, you know, that was fun. Like I enjoyed that,
Ah,
and I consider that a need, and that's what keeps me going and keeps me motivated to work and make more money to spend more money.
wow. I
Yeah.
like
Well,
that. I like
That
that.
yeah.
love it.
And definitely, Michelle and Melissa, I saw you. You really that resonated with you as well. So I guess that is something you do as well with your in
Yes,
terms of how you spend.
yes, because we're all living, and yes, we can sit here and say, okay, make a budget, only buy food, water, and make sure you have shelter. But really, that's not realistic. And I think sometimes we tell young people to have unrealistic expectations, and then it doesn't really work out. But if you follow what Dario was just saying, which is make sure you include something that's entertainment, that it broadens your horizons, give you experiences, it adds value to your life, and it creates a balance where you're in life and you're living within your means.
It sounds to me that both of you are basically saying YOLO. You only live once. That's what I'm hearing.
I hear
you only
that.
live once.
Most
get
definitely.
the experience, and I think that's one difference between the young people and the mature.
The slightly more mature is the term.
Slightly more mature.
These young people are transitioning. I can hear it in their narrative.
But I like what you're saying, because that's really how you grow. When you have these different experiences, when you can travel to the Netherlands and you can travel to different parts of Europe and see how persons live, see different places of culture, of history, that only serves to deepen your knowledge, of course. And then you then take all of those experiences and use them to be a better you.
I agree.
I like that.
One of my concepts that I've always stuck by is I say that I like to steal people's energy. It sounds like a negative thing, but it's actually a good thing. So if I meet people, like for instance, Melissa and Michelle were speaking just now, and they were passionate about what they're speaking about. So they're not only passionate, they're also experts in the field, and listening to them gives me a little bit of knowledge. So if I have a conversation with someone maybe about what they were speaking about, I'm now able to expand a little bit more, and it makes that a better conversation, which I can then learn from again and take that and go into my next conversation. So that's how I try to live life, as just a sponge, trying to take up everything that people tell me.
That's great.
That's fantastic.
100%.
Nice.
Yep. So we're going to take a slight break. Megan, do we have any questions at this point?
At this point, we have some comments. So Elsbeth Higgins says, great stuff, Melissa and Michelle. And she also says, well said, Dario. Yeah. Great. I am all excited. This is really nice.
This is if this is a prelude to our YOLO conference. Again, Elsbeth and everybody else who's on, if you have children, nieces, nephews, godchildren, neighbors, you need to tell them about this show. We are going to be inspired by what these young people have to offer. Absolutely. And their viewpoint, their experiences, and we want to hear their goals and their aspirations. You know, when we're in the nursing home, these are the people that are going to be at the helm, making all the laws and making sure that we get our Social Security checks, you know, making sure that the elder care laws in Antigua are supporting people of our generation. You know, We'll be hanging with their parents as well in the elder care home. So we better keep in and make sure that they're on track.
We'll be well.
Yeah. So we're gonna pause for a slight. It's just a slide, just to update everyone on the YOLO Summit. So we'll put that up, and we will be back momentarily in less than 30 seconds. Okay, here we go. And of course, as we told you what the theme was, and we want to give a shout out to our sponsors. We have the Tradewinds Hotel, where our opening ceremony will be held. Of course, you know, we are Samuel Fields Consulting Group. Our presenting sponsor is St. John's Cooperative Credit Union. We also have ECAB. We also have Ready Cash Courts, and we also have HW, which is H Right Promotions. So we thank our sponsors, and again, go to our website, samuelfieldsconsulting.com, to register for the summit. You can also go to our Facebook page, to our Instagram, to our YouTube, and be sure to subscribe, like, and share. And we also have a landing page. You will need a Zoom account because the sessions will be streamed via Zoom. Again, we have great content between 10 and 7, and you can watch it on the replay if you can't watch everything all at once. But we invite everyone to join us on Sunday, June 5th for the virtual YOLO Summit, Youth Opportunities, Lessons, and Outcomes. Okay, so we'll get back to our discussion. So, ladies and gentlemen, the session I'm really excited about is talking about stereotypes. And I took my notes because I went to a bunch of different articles and I had to pull bits of things from all over. There's an article, and I'll drop it in our Facebook and Instagram bio, so that if you want to read it, you can look at it. But it's from a magazine called Money Under 30. And they looked at 8 stereotypes that we associate with millennials and also with women. So, of course, I doubt we'll get to all 8. So I tried to pull out maybe the top 3. And essentially, they're saying that there are many gender and generational stereotypes as it relates to money.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them are true, but plenty of them, as you know, are false. Because with a rise in education among our youth and especially our women, this is reflected in, their earning potential. So we find that young people come to the table with a lot of education, a lot of experience beyond their years, and there's certain expectations about their earning potential. So let's start with that first. And I'll make a statement and I'll welcome your feedback. Millennials, which you all are, expect to get high-paying jobs right out of college. So let's not even say millennials, let's go with young people. Young people expect to get high-paying jobs straight out of college. What is your reaction, Dario, to that statement?
Yeah, we do. because I can only speak for myself. I did a lot of coursework in university, but I also did a lot of practical work. So in my situation, I've worked at places like MLS games, the Super Bowl, basketball games, regular NFL games, concerts, boxing matches. That was all a part of my experience in terms of logistics, operations, sport management. And not even just when I returned home, even within some sectors within the US while I was still in school, I just saw areas where that level of professionalism could help. And saying high paying job, I think that is subjective, but considering how low the average income is for an, we definitely feel as though we deserve a little bit more than that with the expertise that we've been able to put together, along with the experience we get without actually being able to list it as 5 years experience in a role. So it doesn't come off, the experience doesn't come off that well on a resume, but depending on the places that you would have been and the people that you would have worked with, it can oftentimes be a lot more valuable than years of doing something incorrectly.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. My son just graduated, and I do believe he would have said the same thing you said. I think he expects to be paid well. So let's hear from Melissa and Michelle.
So I did see a lot of that when I was finishing university, and the topic did come up a lot in our classes as well once we were finishing our masters. But I feel as if for the young people in particular, I think we need to be cautious. Yes, we're coming out with the paper stamp degree, but I think there's a certain amount of experience, that real life and day-to-day job and just doing it actively that you can't get in school. So that's what employers really look for sometimes. They want to see, first of all, stability, that if they hire you, you're not going to leave next year or the year after. They want education, but they also want that valuable experience that really it will take time to get. So it's not to tell the young people not to be ambitious because we all are striving and we're trying to achieve. So be ambitious, try to achieve, look for a job that is, decent, but also don't be disheartened if you don't get it and you have to start a little bit lower just to build that foundation to come up. And I think that a mixture of being ambitious with being practical is what the young people need to have when they're looking for jobs straight out of college.
Mm-hmm. I
I
agree.
totally agree with you, Michelle. And I want to say that I have personally been at times maybe slightly too ambitious, but I think that what I said and what you say actually align a lot closer than you would have. So the experience, I was saying that I think I got a lot in school. So for instance, my the premier thing that I think I do, because it's local and it's giving back all of the aspects that I would have been able to gain outside, is the Cool and Smooth T20, which is recently concluded. And
Yeah.
that's where I get an opportunity to just like practice everything that I learn. And I started doing that, for instance, when I was still in school, right? And it's probably the biggest white ball cricket tournament in our parts. So I think that experience is relative, and a lot of the time, when you're a year out of school, no one's gonna look at you and say, okay, you have 5 years experience in anything, because they figure everything was kind of part time and not that serious before. But how ambitious we are in this day and age, I think that everything is serious for us, and our experience, even at those young ages, needs to be considered.
Yeah. I
Interesting.
think like my experience, what happened to me coming out of school, when I came back to Antigua to work and I moved home, I couldn't find, I was coming from a manager level in New York City, and I was coming back to Antigua without a job, and I had to look around for a job. I could not find anything on that managerial level that was available.
Mm.
Only place that called me back, I remember this distinctly. We made packages for all the hotels. We drove around to every hotel, dropping off
Oh,
packages,
wow.
resume, CV. We were on a mission. And one hotel called me back and said that, we don't have anything in the management level, but we have a part-time like HR coordinator. So I'll be filing papers. And I had asked my dad, because I normally ask my mom and my dad what to do, in these situations. And he gave me the best advice ever. And it was, Michelle, stoop to conquer. And that live with me to this day. And it's to stoop to
To
conquer.
conquer.
So I went over there filing paperwork and just doing whatever odds and ends was in the HR office. And that gave me a springboard to show my personality, show my quality. And eventually it led me into a management training position, a director, assistant director of housekeeping, and then I went on to assistant front office manager. But I stooped to conquer. So
Conquer.
sometimes you just have to
That's
put your
really great
foot in the
advice.
door, put your foot in the door and let your work speak for itself, because that's what the employees are scared of. They know what you have on paper, but they don't know what you'll be like day to day working, and that's what you need to probably slide in the bottom and work your way up.
Yeah. I just add in a little bit there. So I think is remember you always want to remember, okay, your capability, you want to show that to an employer. So let's say for young people who are listening on, or adults, if you're looking to give your kids, trying to get them to understand that you need to stoop to conquer. Let's say they want to get into this particular company really bad. They want to move up the ladder, but the only thing available is a low-lying position. When you get in for that position, operate at the level of the position you're trying to be at, so that they can see that you are ready for that next level. So basically, don't just, if you're a paper pusher, quote unquote, don't just go and paper push. Go paper push, go strategize, give encouragement, offer a hand here, there. Show them that you are ready for that next level. And it looks better on your resume to show that you went maybe you went straight to a manager position, but you kind of just stayed there for several years, versus starting low and you got promoted quite,
Yes.
steadily. If you know you are worth more, maybe the first job you get out of school is not, gonna pay you the big bucks. We kind of have to cope with that, but don't get the job and decide to live there. operate at a level that you want to move up, and it will happen, So that's how I think we can break the stereotypes, getting young people to understand that, hey, you're just trying to get your foot in the door. And if you're not moving up in the company that you're in, you start looking elsewhere because you're valuable.
And I would just pick back a little bit on what Mel said. We're living examples that this happened to us more than once in our career.
Times.
It happened multiple times. I can remember while I was going to school, the only job I could get was custodial duties, which is the person that vacuums, takes out the garbage, and cleans desks and windows. So I took a custodial job, and the way that I worked and had passion with what I did, and I cleaned people's desks like if it was the last time I was going to clean their desk. Like the way I took out the garbage, I was smiling, I was wiping windows, like I was so passionate about what I was doing. They eventually promoted me to building manager, so I was operating the whole facility eventually.
Oh, wow.
It's happened to me so many times in my life that I can tell you.
You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, they are.
Absolutely. Stoop to conquer. I love that.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
This is a lot. This is a lot of power. Packing a lot of power right here.
And guys,
listen, I want to go through as many of these as possible. Let's try another one.
I think Dario was saying something.
Oh, I'm sorry, Dario.
I was saying that the ladies are teaching. I was saying the ladies are teaching me a lot because this is actually my first job. I've just been in it for a while. So after I left university, I had no job because I didn't stoop to conquer. At that point in time, I could have used some income. That advice would have came in really handy.
I
had to wait a year and a half to actually get a job. And
that's fine. Wherever you are now, Dario, like I'm sure you got the job that you wanted because you waited. But definitely show them that, hey, you're worth way more and you're ready to move up whenever that might happen. It might not happen when you think it's supposed to happen, but when the
I've moved up in the job since, but I got to the company that I wanted to initially. Yeah. So.
Awesome.
Wow. That's
nice.
amazing.
I like that.
I wonder if there are stereotypes in terms of whether women have more humility and are more strategic in mapping our path out versus men.
In everything, not just in mapping their path out, in everything.
I honestly think you're right, Dario. I think there's just something about the way we were raised, this whole humility versus, I don't want to say arrogance, but a false sense of confidence that sometimes men have.
Yeah, we're taught to be the man, so you're
taught to be the man,
and you're not as patient. You're not as patient. We bring a stronger sense of patience and
our emotions as well.
Exactly,
we're in touch with our emotions.
Exactly,
and that helps.
Yeah, we just process information differently. I think there's some gender gaps that clearly explain some of these behaviors. We just it's here. We process information differently.
Yeah, and I think that stereotypes hold true because they exist. I think that we reinforce them with our actions and with the way we speak to our children. And so me saying that women are more methodic in their actions is not because I think that men can't be, but because of the way that we've been socialized, we aren't necessarily geared towards acting in that manner. So it's just a societal thing. I don't think that it's anyone lacks the ability to be that way.
Agreed.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine coming to the YOLO Summit and listening to these young people?
Oh my goodness. I wonder if we're gonna have to have YOLO too.
We definitely will have to have YOLO
start
too.
planning YOLO too. Another stereotype that I want to address. There's this stereotype that millennials, young people, they're always broke. They're just broke.
Seem frozen,
what is your reaction to that statement as a stereotype?
Well, again, the way that I look at stereotypes and the way I look at stereotypes in general is that they're not necessarily true, but they may be most people's experience, and people can only talk about what they experience. So we've already touched on quite a few reasons why young people could be considered broke, because we don't stoop to conquer. So I didn't have a job for a year and a half. So obviously during that time I was very broke. Also, we spend on experiences. We don't try to save every penny. So, there's the chance that in your early stages of spending, a rainy day comes along that you're not prepared for. You don't have an umbrella, you don't have a raincoat, and your yard isn't paved. That happens. And so these are reasons, and the fact that we don't necessarily get high-paying jobs, which is another thing that we talked on coming out of university, considering what the average income is for an Antiguan. So these are reasons why young people can consider to always be broke. It's not that people are just saying that; it's oftentimes is the truth.
Interesting.
So, ladies, what is your reaction?
You lost us for a bit. We missed the beginning of the question.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, the next stereotype we wanted to address is the statement that young people are always broke.
I think it's true. It's not even just a stereotype. I think we want to do too much, and I think we're just in an age that we see more. There's more things in marketing has just gone to another level. Social media has made it worse. And things are more expensive.
And social media puts added pressure that you need to be keeping up with something.
Yes.
And you're seeing it constantly in your face. It's a constant reminder. Even if you're a homebody, you're still seeing it on TV. You're seeing that you need to have this shoe or this car, and there's always an advert or advertisement. But also, we're also living in an era where living on credit is easy accessible.
Yeah.
Credit cards are easy. Fast cash is easy access, and I feel that is something that we need to break in our generation, not to inculcate habits of borrowing in order to get something that you need, unless it's an investment. And I think maybe enough young people are not hearing that part of it, because if you borrow today and you borrow tomorrow, you're probably going to borrow next month for the next thing, and then you get into this downward spiral that you can never really get out of. And if you really do that at a young age, it really goes downhill after that.
I could definitely say, like, while we were living in the States, we witnessed it firsthand that where we were living, we probably got like 6 credit cards. Hey, you can sign up for this. There's no down payment or there's no interest, and it's just they make it too easy.
Yes.
For you to access money that's not even yours.
If it's not from the bank that's sending you a card, Macy's would send you a Macy's credit card. Also would send you a credit card.
Victoria's Secret.
Like, we were always scared of credit cards. Only when we moved back to Antigua, we actually got one.
Yeah.
But I feel as if we weren't scared of credit cards, we would have easily fallen into the trap as well.
Yeah, so I think it's a lot of, I think, getting the youth to understand to have credit cards are not bad, but you have to have a healthy relationship with a credit card. And if you know you're not a disciplined person, you probably want to just stay away from that, you know? And I think it starts with little things like that, the credit card, or
having Amazon set up on your phone.
Yeah, or going to your cousin or your sister, your friend, and say, hey, can I borrow $100? Those type of little things, I think, shows a bigger picture that, somebody has an unhealthy relationship with their finance. And maybe we need to do better as, I mean, you guys are saying we are young people still, right? We're still young. So we probably need to have more things like what you're doing, YOLO Summit, where we are educating young people how to have that healthy relationship so that we can kind of break the stereotype. But to answer your question in short, it's not just a stereotype, it is true.
I really like
So
what you
both
said.
Agree. Okay, wow.
I like what you said because, and I can understand why young people would be considered to be broke, because especially the experiences and everything you, Michelle and Melissa, you said about all the different attractions. But you made such a good point, because that's there to stay. So it's what can we do about it? And it has to be developing a healthy relationship, because it doesn't make sense in my mind to tell young people, stop spending. That's not realistic. So it's how do you get the young people to develop a relationship with money, to develop a relationship with even borrowing, because borrowing is not all bad if you're doing it for a particular purpose. So how do you develop the relationship so that a young person understands the good and the bad, the ugly, the in-betweens of money? And that's what YOLO is all about. And we all have to do our part to get the message across to the young people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Let's try for one more because I don't want to go over time, but at the same time, we're going to drop this link in our Facebook on our Facebook page, and anyone who's interested in learning more, because there are 8, we're going to try to do at least 3. I'm torn as to which one I should go with.
Give us
but-
both. Let's count them up.
What's that?
Give us both.
Let's see. Most millennials are materialistic.
Yeah, if I had the comment on that, I would say that Melissa and Michelle kind of touched on that in their last answer.
Yes.
Social media is a killer in terms of that. You see things that are expensive, they look nice, and you want them. We're visual people, so you want them. It entices you. Your own self-control is really what decides whether you get it or not, as long as you can afford it. So I think young people are more materialistic than in the past, just because we can see everything. We feel like there's no barriers. You know what I mean? The internet
And
shows
it's
you
easy to
it's easy to get as well, more
Yes.
accessible in terms of shipping means and so forth. So it has made us more materialistic, and I don't think it's a bad thing in every instance, as long as you're not living outside of your means.
I agree with Dario.
Yeah. Let's get another one quickly then.
Okay, one more. Most young people still live with their parents even after they come home from college.
Actually, I did too.
Wait,
Until I
hold
got
on.
married.
They don't want us to leave. Let's just
That's
Dario,
definitely
Dario,
the
are you
article
wanting
talks
to
about that
leave?
too.
Okay.
Yeah, the article says it's not just on the kids; it's about the parents are also at fault.
Yes.
And also, they talked about, kids nowadays have so much college debt and other debt. It's really difficult in your early years after graduating, balancing, lower earnings with this huge college debt. So it makes sense if you can live at home for a few years after college, pay down some of your college debt while you work your way up and improve your earning potential. It's a smart thing to do.
It is a smart thing to do, and I don't think people should be ashamed if they're still living at home, but if they're creating a foundation for their life for the future. For example, if we came back home and just because I wanted to go get an apartment to live on my own, to then do what? Be paying rent? Or do I want to stay at home and build my funds and build a home to move out into a stable situation? Now that makes a lot of sense.
I mean, I think me and my sister, we're both blessed because we were not put in that situation. Our parents were able to cover our college expenses. So, and still we didn't come home and decide to move out on our own. I can definitely tell you, we would not be able to do bodybuilding, which is an expensive sport, and travel if we were living on our own. I can definitely tell you that. So, but we wanted to be with our family and they wanted us to be here. So our situation also is different than many, because I know some parents can't wait for the kids, move
Yeah, we
out.
did entertain like even the thought of us moving back, but moving together as sisters. And they said, "Come back home, come back and live with us." They
And
actually
save
wanted
your money. They want
save your money and
so,
build.
and our parents are big on saving, so they really encourage us to save.
Yes, that's the condition, though. I don't think it would.
Yeah,
be.
it wasn't come home and live and waste your money. It was come home and live with your family and build yourself, build your foundation. And
Yeah.
I can definitely tell you, we have no shame in this. Our parents check in on our finances, and we are so happy that they do.
Oh,
Because
wow.
they hold, and we ask them to do it because they hold us accountable for what we say we're going to do. We map out a plan that by the end of the year, we're going to save X.
Yeah. And monthly, we have it like on a spreadsheet. And I, like just last month, would send a screenshot to my dad. He looks at it, he says, Michelle, if you get to this amount, your parents will be proud of me. That makes me feel like, Michelle, you've got to get to this amount.
And
So it gives me encouragement to, I want to make him proud. So we keep it up. And it's somebody checking times we can't trust ourselves. And we should get support from those who are looking out for us.
yes.
That is
So
so nice.
That is wonderful.
if they can trust in, your parents or somebody else, your husband or whatever the case is, your wife, let someone help you stay accountable.
Yes.
Exactly.
Have an
We all need
accountability
accountability partners. We all need
Yep,
it. That
absolutely.
is so
excellent.
nice.
My
Yeah,
reasons
that's
for living at
amazing.
home, I have a lot of reasons for living at home actually. Luckily, I am in the same situation as Melissa and Michelle. My parents sacrificed to send me to university without incurring that type of debt. So I didn't have much debt to pay after university. They allowed me to move back into their house. I honestly never had a conversation about it. I don't know if they like me living there or not really, but they've never complained. So we're
they
gonna
do.
ride the wave for now. Um, but honestly, with the job that I have now, I basically spend 2 months out of the year at home. Sometimes within that 2 months, I'm not even actually at home.
So they
So
can tolerate you. Come
it's not
on.
really an issue. If I had my own home, it would just be wasting resources, electricity, water, that type of thing. Because majority of the time I wouldn't be there. Also, I have my first brother is 10 years younger than me. The other one is even younger than him, and I want to spend as much time with them as possible because sometimes within our societies we struggle for good, especially male influences in children's lives. So I want to be that for my little brothers so they don't have to go
Nice.
anywhere else to look for it. So when I am home, I do try to spend as much time in the actual house as possible. Um, and it also allows me to save. So I'm currently paying for multiple pieces of land for a car. All that stuff comes out of my salary, and it allows me to save, and it also allows me to contribute to the house bills so that my parents don't have to spend as much as they always spend. But something that we were going to touch on that maybe we may have to speak about next time, because I know we have a limited time, is what I learned in university as black tax. You could use any other term before the tax, but it's basically the situation where within our communities and our societies, we are expected. We talk a lot about NFL, NBA, those type of persons who normally come from adverse situations and then get a lot of money. They're now responsible for distributing money in every direction. So they not only have to support their parents, which are upwards, they have to support their brothers and sisters who go like this, their friends who go like this, and then they have children as well who go like this. So their money is going in all directions. Whereas
Wow.
within more healthy first world societies, that doesn't necessarily happen. If you have a proper job, it's now your responsibility to make your life and your children's life. So that's something that hampers our young people a lot as well. We spend a lot of money taking care of our parents. And I'm not saying that if your parents need taken care of that you shouldn't, but what I'm saying is if more people are able to make themselves independent and take care of them and their immediate family, then the offspring will be able to do the same because they'll be confident that their parents are comfortable enough that they can go forth and do their own thing. And I think that's very important within our community and our society.
Well, we spoke about that some time ago because it's really what you're talking about is really generational wealth. And how do you build that up especially within our type of communities? Because it's not there. And it is something that we have to start building so that our children and their children can continue to build on, so we can have the money flowing in the family, keeping it within the generation, as opposed to spending it, you get it, you spend it, because you've never really been taught how to get your money to work for you. So that's a very good topic that you mentioned, and it's all about generational wealth. And I know it's something that the Black community in particular, we really do need to spend some more time digging into that and seeing how we can make things better for the generations to come. But one other thing I wanted to quickly say, and I know we're speaking to the young people, but as I heard Melissa and Michelle speak about their experience about coming back home and living at home and their parents setting up a type of structure, it came to me that one of the things that parents need to do as well is when their children do come back from university, yes, welcome them back home, but not in the same under the same rules as when they were students.
Yeah.
So they're back home, but this is now the time for them to learn and build on certain habits. So how they spend, the fact that they are now a part of the family, and they're always a part of the family, but they're part of
they're now adults
making money to contribute to the expenses. So I'm a firm supporter. If you are a child, you're back home and you're working, well, you should be working. Or if not working, you're going to school. And if you're working, you need to contribute. It doesn't matter if your parents are ridiculously rich, because the point is really to teach you how to manage money, how to be responsible for your expenses, and to make you a better person for when that time comes and you want to go on your own. So parents, if you have your children at home, ensure that they're paying a bill, ensure they are responsible for some kind of activity around the house. You're building them up.
Fantastic. Do we have any comments or questions that we want to take at this point, Megan?
To this point, we surely do. Wow.
Okay, let's hear these comments. We live for the comments.
So Louise McKay Edwards says, stoop to conquer, profound advice. And I'm telling you, girls, tell your dad I'm stealing that.
Yep.
We're
definitely adapting that. Yep.
To conquer. Love it. Denise Armstrong says, awesome, Melissa and Michelle.
Oh wait, that's our best friend's mother, and yes, and Shayna Armstrong, which is her daughter. We have the same conversations. Actually, when we got invited to do this, I asked her, Shayna, what's your money mantra? Because she's in banking and finance, so she's so yes. I was like, Shayna, what do you think? How do you think about money? And she gave us some really, really good tips. But even within us as three friends, like if we want to go on a vacation, we create a budget. And it's good that you not only do it within your family, but get your friends, get your whole circle to have that.
You guys are wonderful.
That makes sense. I want you guys to be my friends.
I probably couldn't keep up.
True.
They would intimidate me.
In a good way. Okay, this is from Inga Jarvis. This is our aunt. Good afternoon, family. Aunt Inga is listening and enjoying. Happy to see so many interested young adults. God bless. Thank you so much. We also have from Manelva Samuel. She says, I'm mature. In life, we need a balance, a diet, not only food, but finance, exercise, etc. From childhood, I have a desire to travel the world, and that motivated me to save, always save towards a goal. So true. And she continues and says, very mature young people. Awesome. I second that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Denise Armstrong says, great, Dario. And she also says, our future is in good hands with these young people. And I'm telling you, I agree. I'm so excited. Yeah. And okay, Inga Jarvis, young man, I am so proud of you. We as parents must try to save and take care of ourselves instead of depending on our children. I'm Megan Samuel Fields' aunt, and I'm 84 years young. Me and my husband of 62 years, we are paying our own bills for real. God bless. Thank you so much.
And I would just say to Aunt Inga, if she's still listening, she probably doesn't realize who Dario is.
No, I actually thought the same thing.
She
She
doesn't
knows
know.
your
She hasn't made the
grandmother very
connection.
well.
She knows your mom very well. She realized this is Zola. Your mom's name is Zola, right?
Zona.
Grandmother.
Zona. This is
Grandmother.
Zona's son, Aunt Inga.
Grand
Grandson.
dude.
Oh, Jesus. What am I saying? Oh, my God. I need to get it. I need to get my act together. You're right.
Oh, you see, he looks like his dad.
Folks, we're gonna look at one more slide, but prepare for this question when we get back. What's next? It's the year 2032. Where will you be financially? Describe your life, and we're gonna look at your future self. What is your vision? But of course, this is a financial show. So where will you be, or where do you want to be financially? Where do you see yourself in 2032? We're going to take a quick break to look at another slide, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, I guess I'll have to do the voiceover. For everyone who's listening, between the ages of 15 and 35, please sign up for the virtual YOLO Summit. You get a chance to win 2 tickets to the Sobo Fete. Sobo is Suns Out, Buns Out. It's on June 19th. It's at Seaforth Beach. Melissa and Michelle, it's at your beach. And so we're giving away two free tickets as an incentive for persons to sign up. Of course, you can only sign up once, but of course, tell your friends and family. I hope this is a fete that everyone will check out. And we want to thank H. Wright, who's helping us with the promotions. Another dynamic young man with a lot of promise and lots of ideas. So again, sign up for the YOLO to get tickets to Sobo. So we will resume our conversation.
There's one other comment again from your aunt. She says, yes, girls, auntie is listening.
Fantastic. So, anybody planning to go to the Sobo Fete? Are you guys into the fetes?
I'm not gonna be in Antigua, so I will be unable to attend. Melissa and Michelle are working on the actual bikini bodies, so they can't go and drink alcohol and eat food and get so they won't be attending either, I'm guessing.
Okay.
If maybe we can make a cameo. I don't know, but no, definitely wasn't on our radar. But I'm sure a lot of young people would be interested to get the opportunity to go.
No, everyone should go. It's one of the better produced fetes in Antigua for young people.
Oh wow!
Actually.
So you guys know H, right?
Yeah,
yes,
of course.
We support him 100.
Oh wow!
Nice.
We've actually appeared. I think all 3 of us have appeared on his talk show. He has a talk show.
Lovely, yes. Nice.
Yes.
So the Antiguan celebrity circle is just one big circle, huh?
And we have them on our show.
I'm telling you, I'm honored. I didn't even know. I'm out of touch, but this is wonderful.
You never did know.
This is great. Now, H. Wright is one of our promoters, helping us get the word out, and I'm not even sure if he knows you guys are, because we haven't discussed the agenda with him. So he probably doesn't even know you guys are on the show
yet. Yes. Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I want to go 10 years to the future with you guys. But actually, we're going to send you guys to the future. I'm not ready to go there yet. I'm going to say right here. Because 10 years from now.
10 years from now.
Oh, my goodness. How old are we going to be? Retired.
Don't go there. Don't go there. Let them go. Let them go.
How much more mature will you be? That's the question.
There you go,
10 years more mature. 10 years
Dario,
more mature.
Do you have political aspirations?
Political aspirations?
Thing? No.
It's not something that I've thought about specifically. No. But I do have aspirations to help develop Antigua. If eventually it leads to a political route, which I don't see currently, then I will head in that direction. Whatever way that I can help to develop our nation, especially in terms of the field of sport. That's where you'll find me for not only now, but forever.
Okay, that's our
Okay,
sports
so our
minister.
sports minister has spoken. Let's keep it moving. No, his narrative. The
You
reason
might
I
be
brought it
listening.
up. Go ahead, Dario. What were you saying?
No, I was saying the minister might be listening. I don't want anyone to feel threatened for their jobs.
No, we're 10 years,
10 years
from
from
now.
now, 10 years.
I mean, minister, come on. 10 years
Oh,
from now,
true, he might be prime minister by then.
you never know. So 10 years from now, nothing will be the same. So we're not, if you said a year from now, I could see him getting concerned of the election coming up. I could see that. But 10 years from now, nothing will be the same. We'll all be in different roles. And, you know, those of us who are still around, it's going to be a different time. So
Yes.
the reason I asked about whether you had interest in politics, your narrative, the way you speak, smooth as butter. So
Yes.
smooth, very measured.
I'm happy you said
narrative.
politician, because the other option is normally con man. So
And sometimes a little bit of both.
They're
What
similar.
can I tell you? You know, sometimes a little bit of both. So, alrighty. So, Dario, let's start with you. It's the year 2032. Antigua will have just celebrated its 50th anniversary of independence. So it's going to be our golden jubilee. Who knows what else? I mean, my imagination can keep going. You know, you'll probably be married with, 3 kids.
Are we going into the personal part, or you just want to know where I'll
No,
be?
I'm staying away from the personal part. Something tells me I need to stay away. So
Yes, I
Zola
think you
is going to
should.
be a great grandmother, and tell us what's going on in your financial world.
Well, financially, I'd definitely like to be a lot more secure than I am currently. As I mentioned, I am paying a few loans, so I'll be finished with those based on the projections, as long as I keep a job. So I'll have more disposable income. I'll be building more experiences. I'll be traveling even more. I'll definitely be out of this job. So I'll be traveling a lot more for pleasure, I'm hoping. But also, and what is most important to me, is that I'll be applying whatever talent, whatever skill, whatever expertise that I'm able to gain between now and then to, as I said, help develop especially the sporting product in Antigua. I do have interest in quite a few other things. Chatterbox Juve, I'm the co-owner of Chatterbox. So I do have interest in promotion.
Oh, nice.
That I forgot that, Dario.
Yes,
Yeah.
content, everything else. And any way that I can carry those industries forward within Antigua is, as I said, is where I want to be. So in 10 years, hopefully I'll be in a position to do that with a lot more financial backing, a lot more general resources, and a lot more people as a part of a team. Because one of the things that I mentioned is that I'm very big on team, and I've found myself working alone quite a lot within recent years. So I do want to go back into my team setting and ensure that they're people that I can bounce things off of and people that I can trust to do things, because I know they care as much as I do. So hopefully in 10 years time, that will be the case. And I'll be a little bit more comfortable and move around a little less for work, and be able to mix the pleasure in with the work a little bit more.
Nice.
Fantastic. Ladies, I can't wait to hear where 10 years is going to find you guys. I'm excited for you. I'll probably be in the same nursing home as your parents, They'll be dating me on
10 years nursing home. Come on. No, man.
Yeah, you're right.
Not
No,
yet.
10 years is too young. 10 years is too soon. Maybe 20 years. Yeah, maybe 20 years. I think so.
Definitely not going to a nursing home.
Exactly.
Definitely not. That, making sure that we're financially stable, financially free, so that does not happen. And just
But nursing home is not necessarily a bad place, I mean, you guys lived in the States.
She
Nursing
said
homes.
that.
Nursing home in Antigua. So I'm thinking more of the American concept.
Whatever they want is what they will get. If they want to go around others, no problem.
Yeah. But I think
it's similar to Dario.
Yeah, being financially free being able to provide for your family that will grow eventually, and be able to support the family as well, not just ourselves, but be financially free that you can go on and make more experiences, travel, give back to the community, and just keep it as one healthy lifestyle, continuing to improve our careers, but also hopefully entrepreneurship as well, like working for yourself. When you get to that stage where you can finance your own business and it be profitable, I think that's where I'd love to be.
Nice.
Same
And I
here.
think it's
Fantastic.
you guys, you're going to be there. You're on your way already. You
Absolutely.
all have your heads on. You're focused. Oh, I'm impressed. I'm blown away.
Yep.
I know for sure when I was your age, I didn't have my head on like that. Yeah.
Well, at
Kudos
some
to
point,
you.
I would love to hear when you got your head on, because you have CEO on the end of your name.
Long journey. I mean, but I just think at your age, I had the goal, but I don't think I was as focused as you all are at that age. We have one last comment from a very important person. And she just says, awesome, awesome, awesome. This is Malvi Joseph Barkley, the
Oh,
mother of Dario Barkley, my very good friend.
That's where I got my looks, guys. You see that picture?
Yes, she has
and
a
I just
beautiful
realized,
smile.
Dario, who your grandfather was when he passed away. I did not know that was your mother's father.
Oh, you
Very
didn't?
nice man. I had to deal with him for some issue. And then I don't know how it came up, and I was like, oh my God, I did not realize that was Malvi's dad when he
Yeah.
passed away maybe 5-6 years ago.
I
So
can't
it's one
remember the years right now because COVID wiped out my
Yeah.
memory.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
true.
Everybody.
But
everybody.
yeah, he passed away a while back. Egbert
Yeah.
Joseph, great man.
Yes, definitely.
Well, young people, I feel good. I feel
Oh, yes. I feel full.
I feel very fortunate that we have dynamic speakers like yourselves involved in this venture that we are embarking on. I feel that our future is bright.
Definitely.
All of the stereotypes that I just read out, let's just throw them out the window. They are so not true. They are, you hear all these things about those young people and them.
Can't go to young people.
It's there are some young people who don't have their act together, frankly. But I have found more and more that a lot of young people today, they just see things through a different lens. And I think that's where the conflict arises, because if you are somebody from our generation and you're expecting young people to follow in our footsteps, it's not going to happen. It's a different age. It's a different value system. I've always said, even for my children, they're much younger, but for my children, I just want them to stay on track, have some structure, but at the same time, do what makes them happy. With COVID, there's so many issues with mental health. With younger people, they're stressed because their earning potential has been capped because of COVID. And I'm just very warmed by all of your stories and the fact that you have goals, both financial and otherwise, but you're happy. And that makes me happy. I see the happiness. I see the joy that you have. The twins, oh my goodness, I want to adopt you guys as grown people. I mean, Dario, you're like the son I never had, but I like to see people happy, regardless what your pocket is saying or what your reality is. I can see a zest for life that exudes from all of you, and that makes me very happy, because it says that there's hope. There's hope despite what we've been through with COVID and all the other challenges. Here are a group of young people who they can see their way to 2032, and that's a good thing. So to all of our listeners, remember YOLO Virtual YOLO Summit on June 5th. It's a Sunday from 10 to 7. You go to samuelfieldsconsulting.com to log in. We have tickets to SOBO that you can win if you sign up. And, tune in. There are lots of great topics. We're going to be talking about cryptocurrency. We're going to be talking about your mental health and how that relates to money. We're, of course, going to be talking about sports, the connections between sports and money, music, art, creativity. We live in a different age. Younger people are creative. So there's so many topics. We're going to talk about social media, not in your typical sense. I have a speaker. She's actually a very good friend. She used to be an anchor for Fox in New York and California. She's going to spend a half hour with us just talking about how you leverage social media in a lifestyle type of way, and also share her story. And who else do we have, Megan, that we definitely have to highlight?
Well, the twins are going to be speaking about your professional image, your image currency.
Yes.
So that's going to be interesting.
I can't
we also
wait.
have Onike Adetoye. She is Nigerian, but she lives in England. And she has written lots of books on personal finance, and she'll be speaking
books.
about, actually she's on her 12th.
Yes.
And so she will be speaking about youth
financial
and finance
frenemies,
and the whole relationship between money and young people. So it's going to be interesting. Lots to learn. And then, of course, we have the innovation incubator, where we're going to have several entrepreneurs displaying their different services and their different products. So whoever attends, you'll be able to see all the different activities that these young people have been doing, and perhaps get some ideas, and allow the young people as well the opportunity to showcase what they're doing. So it's just going to be quite interesting, lots of fun, lots to learn. We'll also have a networking lounge where you'll be able to interact with the speakers. So it's going to be a day filled with lots of activities, lots of things to do, and you're going to attend and really, really learn a lot. So please tell your friends, or you register, and then you encourage at least 4 of your friends to register. And it's free. Free 99. All right, so let's wrap this up. Thank you so much, Melissa and Michelle and Dario. Thank you so much.
And it is Michelle on the left and Melissa on the right.
Yes, correct. Got it.
Yes. Michelle with glasses.
Our mom wants to say hi.
Hi, Mom.
You guys all look alike. Good. How are you?
I love your daughter.
I remember you from Jolly Beach.
Yes, I remember.
Yes.
And I
Always full of energy.
Of course.
Fantastic. Oh, there you go. I remember her. Yeah.
Good to see you. You have beautiful daughters.
Your daughters are lovely young ladies.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Okay. So
to everyone, thank you for spending, it's been way over an hour with us, but we hope that you were inspired. Folks, I want to give you one line. Give you a chance to say your parting words in one line, and we're over and out. Dario, let's hear from you.
Stoop to conquer.
Stoop to conquer. Stoop to conquer. I tell you, stoop to conquer.
I'm gonna leave my money mantra. When in doubt, do it out.
Yes, I love that. I saw that in your notes.
Love it.
When in doubt, for sure.
Didn't hear that, Michelle?
Mine is live within your means.
Live within your means. Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
Thank you so much.
Well, to everyone, we look forward to.
Great. We're so glad to have you.
Yes, this has been an amazing show. Every week we say it, but I particularly like our show with young people. I mean, it's always a learning experience for me. And again, invite your friends and family to the virtual YOLO Summit. As you can see here, there's going to be a lot of knowledge, a lot of talent, a lot of creativity. So we'll see you then. But we're back here next week, next Thursday at 5. Check us out. If you missed any part of this show, go to our YouTube channel, or you can check us out on Facebook and Instagram. So everyone, thank you so much again. This was amazing.
Thank you so much.
All of your pursuits. You're all winners.
Thank you so much.
You're all
Absolutely.
leaders. Next time we
Take
talk, I'll
care.
tell you guys which ministry you guys will get. Sports is taken,
Tourism. Hands
unfortunately.
down,
but-
tourism.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
oh yeah. Okay.
Tourism.
So one is tourism. Oh,
They'll
probably,
both be ministers of tourism.
yeah, they'll break the mold and do a joint. Yeah.
All right.
All
Bye,
righty.
guys.
Well,
Take
definitely
care.
meet us up tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone.
Bye.